Alright. You ready for this?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Alright, we're gonna do this fast so we can get back to just anime things.
Also, so I don't pass out just beforehand.
Yeah, DJ might be reeling under the effects of like a full liter of alcohol right now.
It was a barrel.
It really was a barrel.
I
know you couldn't resist it, Mr. Atelier fan.
I only played one game.
You played 2.
I haven't finished the second one, so I don't count that.
Alright, anyway. Welcome to Granblue Radio. This is episode number 280. Because of the release of Atum, today is Your Move Day. This is Vibrating Sheep, and behind me...
It's DJ.
Alright, so we're gonna go fast here because, like I said, this is an in-between week. Next week will be very exciting. This week we have one new release and the stuff that comes with it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Ennead weapons that come from Atum himself. We'll start with Alabad.
Okay. We're starting with that one? Okay. So, the things to note is that I actually don't like the CA.
The heal?
Yeah, because we already had the precedence with Abydos, which is a 3k heal.
And this one's much smaller?
A 700 heal.
So here's the thing, though. Fire Staff, like, you've got some pretty good options already. Well, actually, no, that one's not very good. Don't look at that one. This one's the same thing. That's minus defense. Sorry, I was just thinking of this one, which is amazing. Don't mind me. I mean, just saying.
That's literally any element.
Yeah?
You taught me nothing.
So anyway, go back to this. So yeah, you don't like the CA.
Yeah, it's the only thing I don't like about this weapon. Because we have the precedence of Abydos with a 3k heal.
Mm-hmm.
And also, at least this one removes a debuff when you CA, but I'd rather have that on a button half the time. But it's always nice to remove debuffs. So there's that. Crux and Excelsior, that's standard. Really, it's really standard.
Well, it is at this point in the Ennead series, yeah. But this is the thing. This is Fire getting it for the first time outside of a grand weapon. And so, it didn't have it on a Militus, it didn't have it on a dragon weapon. And so, they've been making a bunch of very CA-friendly Fire characters. You've got Sylph, you've got Elmot, you've got, let's see here.
Silva.
Well, I was trying not to count the limited characters first. But yeah, Izmir, Silva, Wilness, that core, Vera. And so this thing does two things very well that Fire didn't have access to, except, rolling for and getting 2 Wilnesses. So this is the flat 400k version of Crux.
Correct.
The Wilness version, I think you need double Agni to get it to better than this.
I mean, that's not a hard thing to get to.
But, this thing works with double Huanglong. This thing works with, any main hand, any main summon, so that's good. And then, yeah, Excelsior is 15%. Once you have this thing at skill level 15, that's worse than it used to be, but once again, this is completely agnostic of your summon. So this is always going to be 400k. This is always going to be 15%, regardless of your summon. So it doesn't matter if you're Agni, it doesn't matter if you're Beelzebub, it doesn't matter if you are Colossus. This thing will give you full effect. So for that reason, I really like it.
Yeah, that's I argue that one.
Mm-hmm. But this is one of the ones where you'll very likely see this when Unite and Fight comes around.
Because of the double
Crux.
Yeah.
Plus 8.
And then double summon.
Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I have 0 complaints about this weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you had previous complaints about this one. I'm curious to see if you've changed your mind at all.
No, I have not.
You have not. All right. So
it's only because of the other weapons.
All right. So here's Ben Benet or Ben Bennett or whatever you want to call it. And I don't know what it does at the 4-star CA. You tell me.
10% debuff resist down. It's a spear. You have a better spear main handed already.
Yeah. Hollow Sky, or are you looking at different ones?
Hollow Sky.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Where do you want to start with the skills? The good part or the part that you hate?
Start with the good part, which is the thing that's with every one of these is supplemental on how high your HP is.
Right. So Fire had previously had this as its dragon weapon, so Wilderness's Finger is the opposite of this.
Is how low is your HP is, which is why I figured they were not going to get one for this.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the fact that it goes up to 60k at lower HP with low for the Wilderness Finger, which is what the other weapons that we have do.
This one goes to 50 at max, right? Because that's the
this is a 30k.
This is 30k at max.
Yeah,
okay.
This is the standard for
oh
all the
right,
resistance.
got it. And so I mean, for that reason, this one is better for the Robin Hood setups, the skill-based passel of the what number something or the Fire Kumbira Spear.
Unfortunately, we do not have split into 3 attack yet. Yet is keywords, by the way.
We do.
We do?
It's Mim Lemel.
I don't like that character's design, so...
But for specifically, like, Mim Lemel, Alanon, Lucha, this thing is ready to go. And also, like I said, for Robin Hood things. So here's the part that DJ is gonna go off about. I'll let you go for a while. Preemptive Fireblade.
I really don't like this as a skill. I don't like preemptive as a skill, other than if I'm doing one thing only.
And so the thing is that a lot of these weapons, in my opinion, are very much for short fights. Like the high supplemental is usually assuming that you're not going to actually like take any damage by either killing the thing or just not taking more than 2 turns or so.
The problem with that is that the other 2 weapons that have high supplemental are 2 of the 3 have progression on it, so that assumes you're doing a long fight.
So you're talking about just the NED series specifically, right?
Specifically.
Yeah. So that is the light bow and the earth also bow.
Nope. Dark dagger.
Dark Dagger,
Fabulous.
okay. So let's go take a look at our Ennead weapons for a second. So you were talking about Abydos, the Dark Dagger, which I have somewhere. It's around here.
Yeah, not on that page. You don't.
Where did it go?
No, it's probably in one of your boxes. Anyways.
Alright, anyway, point is, the other one is the light bow, yeah?
Yep.
Let's go take a look at this light bow. So yeah, this one's progression, and you said the Dark Dagger's also progression?
They're both a progression.
Yeah.
And I love progression weapons because they cap out at 2 weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one's persistence and skill cap.
Yeah, that one's fine for what ours has.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone thinks... I feel like a lot of things you can benefit from progression,
Mm-hmm.
but at least Amber Arts, it helps you because you're doing singletons.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times.
Okay.
But this one is this one has 1 use and it's only a short fight.
So, I think that my personal thing is that I think that's okay. The part is that, like, Preemptive Fireblade, the problem with Preemptive Fireblade is that you don't want 2 of these, which is bad because Persistence is a skill that you do want to stack.
Yeah, Persistence you can have 3 of.
Mm-hmm.
Fireblade, though.
You have 1 of.
Yeah.
That's the part that I am not a big fan of. Like, the preemptive skills, I actually use the Gondagoza Fist and the Wind one.
I have the Gondagoza Fist at max, and I still have another 3 of those, by the way.
Yeah, same. It's an old weapon. But, yeah, so Preemptive Fireblade is something that I'm used to using, and it's just you plan around after 8 turns that it drops off. The good thing about this on an Ennead weapon is that as an Ennead weapon, you can stick 25% attack on it. That's what it already has. This applies to every other one, so compared to their Ennead weapons, then yeah, as you mentioned, that's not the thing that you like about it. But it's an option. And I think we're gonna see this, but we're not gonna see this as much as the other ones for sure. We're gonna see one-ofs because of the preemptive portion of it.
I think what they did really is that they actually put the hopes a little bit too high on the first 2 weapons that were dropped, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because with Harcesis, for example, we're going with the light one. That one literally has a great CA, progression, and persistence.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Abydos, it allows you to be defensive and keep your HP up. You don't have the Abydos.
The thing is, people dusting something off for Unite and Fight and then putting it back in the stash afterward, like, that's a lot of weapons. Like, it's, well, once again, the Nalaka Kuvara, the Nezha Spear, I do that for Unite and Fight, just dust it off and then put it back. But yeah, it's not as hard content specialized, for example, as the other stuff. Like, Harakte over here, I use in hard content, or Hariasis, I use in hard content. Big E and Edfu, I also use in hard content. Seriously though, where did my Ennead dagger go?
Big E and Enfu actually helped me out a lot during my last solo run.
Yeah.
I mean, put the defense modifier on it too, and I'm like, good luck killing me.
Yeah, it's good. I wonder what happened to my Osiris dagger. Maybe I just have to farm another one. Or maybe I just had really weird luck and I got freaking 12 of these things. Like, look at this.
I see. I'm looking at it right now.
Anyway.
You only need 2 Dom.
Yeah, I know. They're right over here. So, anyway. The Atum fight itself... Atum is for Yu-Gi-Oh! Players.
I mean, it's the same.
It's the same thing, yeah. The Atum fight itself is... It's fine. Like...
It's an Ennead fight.
It's an Ennead fight. The main thing is, yeah, if you mess up, he will try and murder somebody outright,
or mess with your cooldowns.
The big thing that is an annoyance rather than like a big stopping point is that at around 30 or 40%, he puts up the I don't take very much damage and it repels.
Oh, the Royal Shroud.
Yeah, the sandstorm, and
and it reflects 1,000 per hit.
Yeah.
It lasts for 4 turns.
Yeah, Poseidon kind of murders himself on that thing.
The thing is, you could if you're not full auto, you can block.
Yeah, you can block, or the other thing is that static damage does normal damage, and static damage in this case is white damage, fatal chain, chain burst. What else? What else is a set value?
Supplemental, actually.
Yeah.
So the thing is, in that fight for me, Kubiton shoots an arrow, and it dispels immediately.
Does she also take a bunch of damage?
She takes 7k.
It's only 7? Okay.
Yeah, because it's 1 per hit.
Yeah, that's fair.
She fires 7 arrows.
Alright.
So yeah, it's you plan around that.
Yeah, that's fair. My Kubiton doesn't have Night of Ice support yet.
Royal Shroud is literally the BL's above 50%.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's the fight. That's the stuff out of it. There's...
I like it.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it because it's new things to do with my water team. Very slight different effects. Still the same characters who are good at it, but, you know, like, Sochie is actually surprisingly not very good at this fight. She is very good at preventing your main character from getting murked by that one character takes a gajillion damage and gets paralyzed.
Oh,
thing.
70%. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing that she's good at, so it's just like, you know what, we're going back to Lily.
Yeah. Lily's really good at everything.
Alright.
The one my way of dealing with that is Kubiton usually shoots an arrow, and with Maria Theresa in the background. I have to hope that somewhere between 30%, I got the D-spell arrow.
Yeah, so the thing for me is just, I mean, this is it. This is the fight that Fiora 150 was designed for. We did it, friends. He takes damage every turn, which means he nukes every turn, and his cooldowns get reduced every turn.
Which is good.
Yes! Yes! We did it. We did it.
I unfortunately don't have that character, but looping's cool.
Alright, anyway. That's it for Atum to talk about. We're going to talk about the next thing on our list, which is a ballad of unbending chivalry. So, DJ?
Yeah.
We've talked about, like, so this is how they're going to give us the 5-star Ulysses.
Yes.
It's going to be event-based. You're going to do it. You're going to
get the treasure at the very end.
And then she's going to 5-star after that. all that aside, how excited are you for this being the center of the event?
Oh, I'm super excited, man. Back in the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, I believe, we got the Fire Uisis. She was released. Her story ends on a cliffhanger after she, I forget. I think she loses that fight. Actually,
She does.
yeah,
It's implied, kind of, sort of, that she was betrayed, but half betrayed. Where it's like, I betrayed you specifically so I could let you live. The very Itachi kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we haven't had anything since then. She
Yeah.
has been in mourning. Like every New Year's, you click on Uisis and it says Uisis will not talk to you.
We've gotten more content from Granblue TV than we have of actual Granblue.
Yeah, thanks Tachibana Rika.
Yeah. And other thing is that we technically her sword has not been fully unlocked yet. That's the main thing as well.
But this is the thing. Like you read this description and you're just like, this is every Yakuza game.
I mean, she literally was going to take off her finger when she first met you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, specifically the Yakuza games have this very big gap between, like, yes, we are living a life of crime, but Kiryu has this, like, naive honor that he adheres to, but he's so strong that people can't mess with him. And then there's everybody else who's like, but Kiryu, I sell drugs to the community. Like, it's very Black Dynamite.
Yeah.
And so this is the same thing, where it's like, she wants to be chivalrous and honorable.
Of the Victoria Knights, quote unquote.
Knights. And everyone else is like, what are you doing? We sell drugs. This is not a noble profession.
Look, there's family involved, alright?
Definitely about family. Yeah.
Don't betray the family. Anyways.
Yeah, this is exciting. I'm cool with this happening.
Is it applying to her wind version too, correct?
Yes, her wind version is the one that's getting the 5-star.
To be fair, the wind version is the one that needs it.
So, this is the thing. People were just looking at this going, so back in March, when she got her rework along with, Petra, and I forget who were the other two who got that. Petra was the big winner.
Oh yeah, definitely. That character was amazing immediately, especially with the United Fight coming out.
Yeah, and people were looking at Uisis going, well, that's better. Like,
the best part is that you have to when you change one skill, you have to change two parts of one skill.
Yeah, but they looked at it and they're just like, well, that's better, but like this not good. And they're like, well,
she still eats her health. She still spends meter in order to actually,
Yeah, that's the thing, is that eating your health is not inherently a bad thing.
But
eating your meter
is never a good thing.
And not getting enough, like, return back. Because, like, Vajra, you are perfectly willing to drop 100 meter.
Yeah, but she's going to build that back immediately in spades.
Yes. That's why you're immediately,
Press button, get rewarded.
Yeah, you are a total... And also there's a second mode on it after 5-star, where you can just not drop 100 meter. And you still get 2 turns instead of, like, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Uisis eating her meter, you just way do not get enough back.
It's going back to, what's her face?
Shura?
Haria.
Haria. Oh, yeah.
Where she also eats her meter.
But anyway,
Substitute.
And so the thing is, though, that people were looking at that rework and going, huh. And then at the beginning of May, when Uisis was announced as the 5-star, they went, oh god, does this mean that they're going to rework her again? Like, it's been 2 months. Like, it's not even been 2 months. It's been like a month and a half.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what we get, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
That's next week's problem, not this week's.
Yeah. Wait a second. I just realized.
What?
Okay. I didn't put this on the agenda, but we do have to talk about it. So
there
were characters that released last week.
I thought we did that last week.
So did I, but we didn't.
We didn't. All right, putting this on my screen right now.
All right.
Anyways, we talk about these characters outside of this.
We've talked about these characters extensively. All right, so first off, we have Anna. So
Anna was one of the characters I'm like, this character needs an SSR. It's been too long.
So I actually ended up getting this character on off of single tickets. I haven't used her yet because I'm kind of waiting for the Wind Ennead. But
That's a good idea. But so
anyway,
she has a new mechanic. So before, like how they changed Glaciate in order to have a new mechanic attached to it, we have Singed.
yeah. So she is the first character with Singed, which is Fire's answer to Glaciate and Thunderstruck. So what does she get off of things that care about Singed?
Let's see here. According to this, Amplify Magic, her skill 3, at Singe 5 or above, goes from 10 hits to 20 hits.
Yeah, that one's huge.
Because a lot of things are asking for a lot of hits nowadays. And since Fire has access to, well, quote-unquote access, it's a summer character's weapon. But a summer character's weapon that has increased supplemental damage on skills.
Mm-hmm.
This is really good.
Yeah, Frau. Frau?
Which one are you talking about? I was thinking of a Kumbira Sphere.
Oh, I was talking about just Frau's debuff.
Oh no, I was talking about
that gives your team supplemental on anyway. But yeah, 20 hits, many hits. Like anybody who's even just looked at the Kumbira button, like either her skill 4, it just goes, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, you. Yeah. So the thing is that how does she get to 10 singed, like even 5 singed? So, for example, Lancelot, when they made him a Glaciate-based character, where he was the one who cares the most about getting Glaciate 10, they gave him graded bonuses at 5, 7, and then 10. So it's like at 5, you get, I think, the double cast. It's either the double cast or you get the nuke after his attack. At 7, you get...
I'm gonna bring this up right now.
And then 7 gives you another one, and then 10 gives you the CA reactivate.
5 is double cast at skill 1 specifically.
Right.
7 is the
nuke after his attacks.
Nuke after attacks.
And then 10 is the reactivate on CA. Yeah. She only gets her rewards at... She has a clear reward at 5, and then a small reward for every level because of magical lineage here.
Yeah, so with magical lineage, for each level, you get 5% skill damage and 1% cap. So that goes up to 50%, 10%.
Yeah, the percent skill damage, pretty meaningless. The cap up, pretty nice, but also very small.
Yeah, but it's also for an entire ally, so this also takes place, you can use this in the back row.
But how are you going to get singed with her in the back row?
And
well,
that's the part where they start pruning and reworking characters.
Right.
That's literally how it always works.
Yeah, so anybody who previously had, like, stuff switched to Glaciate, they're going to have Burn switched over to Singed over time, or maybe they'll leave it as Burned. Because there are things that are key off of Burned and not Singed.
Typically, the first one I can think of is Athena.
Yeah.
Okay, that's about it.
For what? Burned?
For Burned.
There's other characters who have Burned.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so that's the goal with Anna here. There is a payoff, by the way, for Amplify Magic, even if you're not you're not at 5 singed though, and that is she gets Assassin to herself
for 1 turn.
For a full turn.
Not a hit, a turn.
And so, yeah, I mean as with like some of the other characters, she does not get like the 100% or 100-something% attack boost the other ones do.
Mm-hmm. But it's 50%.
Yeah. And so if you don't have like a super strong fire grid or a lot of buffs to go with it, then you won't notice it much. Like a lot of light players who pressed the Jean button before Nahon existed, they were like, oh, I uncapped. My attacks went from 500k to 700k. Yay.
Anyways.
But anyway.
So other things to note is, Roast 2 is how she actually builds the Singe stacks. It hits every foe, so every foe is going to get singed. And it has a delay, so every foe is being delayed.
AoE delays on a fire character? Tell me more.
Yeah, it's pretty good, I heard.
Yeah.
Blind Charms are on Block Fire 2. That's alright. It's you don't have to carry it on yourselves, at least.
Yeah, blind is the one that is always useful. Charm is a variable usefulness,
Well,
but on the plus side, it counts for debuff count, which more and more things care about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the thing is that she needs to hit Roast 2 as often as possible, and she resets the cooldown on CA.
Yep.
She has no other way of building meter. Star. Big asterisk. It's like, oh, what does Nightmares on it do?
Alright, Nightmares on it. There's three possible effects that could happen. And it only happens on multiples of 3 turns.
So on turn 3, turn 6, turn 9, etc.
So when Anna's HP is... and this is like Nehan's, where it goes through a list and in which order.
Yep. So the most important one is...
Well, first off, when Anna's HP is below 50%, it'll heal her for 3k.
Okay.
When her charge bar is less than 25%, she'll get 30 meter.
Yeah. That accelerates this by a lot, Successor's Blaze.
Yeah, and then the last one is if neither happen, then you get 10% skill damage cap up to 40%.
Which is nice.
Stackable.
It's stackable. But yeah, so Nightmare is what's basically going to keep her heading towards Successor's Blaze, because...
No, it'll keep her from not being at below 25.
Yeah. It'll just keep building her toward that, and then she'll get some skill damage. And then, yeah. This character has a lot of potential. 20 hits is a lot of hits.
That's a lot of hits.
But as of right now, building Singe takes a long time, even with all of this acceleration. And so, like, it takes a huge amount of effort to get Singed to level 5 by the time Amplify Magic is up for the second time.
Yeah.
As more people get... as more characters get Singed, and this gets better, of course.
Other things you can use is, so if you have Mugen, he actually gives meter to everybody on the skill too.
Yeah, I mean, you can also have Anila, and Anila will turn the plus 30 meter into plus 45 meter.
Well, the thing is that requires you to have CA between on like turn 1 or something, or like the turn after.
That's
actually,
true.
You can't actually. So like turn 5, for example.
Yeah.
Well, get meter by turn 6 CA, and then you get the meter back, because the thing is 25 meter. That's literally 3 attacks. If you do 3 attacks in between that time, you're not getting that meter at all.
And then there's Benjamin. There's the usual Kengo thing, but this is not really a Kengo character. Like, she is not going to be on the same teams as we get with like the Crux stuff. This is a hit count character. This is a skill damage character. This is a debuff numbers character.
I mean, I love skill damage.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to do. But yeah, all of these things mean that she's not really your standard like Haneshige Kengo character.
Yeah, but
which is totally fine.
Sometimes you could just put her there anyways.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, like I said, the most important thing about Anna is the fact that they have created a new mechanic and will continue to support it over time. Otherwise, this is sort of an incomplete until we get Wind Ennead, and then just like any time that you hop into an Atum raid or a Wilderness raid and you see Glaciate on there, you're like, yes.
Well, first we need more characters.
Yes, friend.
We literally need more characters first.
Yeah. I don't know, if you all decide to get together and have an Anna party.
If we all decide to be Warlock and have Aether.
Aether!
Yes.
I too am an Ike player. Alright, anyway, so that's that one. Then the more exciting one to a lot of people is because this one was not a matter of getting out of jail, this was a matter of
new character tied to an event.
Tied to an existing storyline. And also people who really enjoy Tokyo fashion in the year 2020. Meet Manamel. She dresses like a Tokyo teenager. You can find people dressed like this in various boutiques around Harajuku, Shibuya, etc.
Yep.
The fashion style is called Jiraike. Shiny Colors players have a shining example of this one in Mamimi.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's the start. The things that really matter about this character. Number 1, on her CA, she gives herself how much supplemental, DJ?
It is 100k supplemental for a turn after this.
She gives herself 100,000 supplemental for a turn after she CAs. It's like, oh, that's a lot.
But no, how will she do so many hits in a turn? Well,
all right. So, where do we go next from here? It's like, how does she best take advantage of that supplemental, DJ?
All right. So for one skill 1, you know, we just start with this already. Her skill 1 gives her 8 hits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like 67k per hit. That's
eight hits is the number that matters, because 67k each is like, okay, sure, that's 500k ish.
And then you supplement that with 100k. Mm-hmm.
With her own supplemental.
That's before you even count like pain and
suffering. 1.3 million before effects like PNS, etc. Okay, all right.
Gives stacking debuff resistance down. That's always nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it also gives her Oblivion Crest. We also forgot to say that her CA also gives her Oblivion Crest. What does she do with Oblivion Crest? Well, her skill 2 increases the number of activations with Crest, just like Aglovale.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also like Aglovale, it does 5% attack down, 5% defense down stacking.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's 6 hits right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're at
5 crests.
Max crests.
Mm-hmm.
Also to note is that when she has crest, my Sister Boo is all I need. Her passive activates. With 1 crest, you get 25% unique modifier.
Mm-hmm.
2 crests, 100% defense boost.
Mm-hmm.
3, you guarantee you guarantee double attacks.
Mm-hmm.
4, you get 100k, not 100, 10k. There you go. That's the right number.
That's a much less fright. Yeah,
that's a more reasonable number.
Yeah, as a passive, yeah.
Yeah, and then 5, you get 30% skill damage cap.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
And so all of this is ludicrous, which is why she has a downside, and we see it in her her support 2 and her skill 2. All right, so. She operates a lot like, say, old Halloween Eustace or things like that. This is a huge downside that does not go away once it's activated. Once you've activated the condition, it's never going away.
Doesn't also Ramen Man have this?
Oh yeah, Ipatsu?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Guardian of Passion. So, number 1, she activates her skill 2 when she takes damage. It's like, oh, well, that's a lot of damage. Number 2, her OMG goes up by 1, Yamimaru. And up to 6. At the end of the turn,
She's at 6.
Then she permanently loses the ability to act, cast skills, and she gets the attack on Titan minus 70% defense number.
This is the exact same thing with Ramen Lover from Ipatsu. Well, his is at 7 stacks, but literally can't act, and 70% defense down is the same on the Merrick.
That said, her skill 3 is there to make up for it. Vegas Passion, put on makeup. She gets 30% meter, which builds her, which on a 5-turn cooldown is a pretty cool thing, which gets her back to Piccolo Rabia here. She
gets a
crest. She gets a heal.
Removes all debuffs.
All of her debuffs go away, yep.
And lowers her OMG by 3.
Yeah. By 3 is a huge number for her, given that it's a 5-turn cooldown. So every 5 turns, she'll lose 3.
That's fine.
And so the downside is not actually going to happen very often.
Unless you're in specific fights.
Yeah. But, like, I saw videos of her being taken to fights like Lumi Malice. Lumi Malice does attack AoE and in multiple hits. But there's a bunch of characters that defend her really well, and she does, like, ludicrous Lich 6 levels of damage in that fight, for example. So, she is essentially a drag racer. She goes real fast, real hard, and if you bring her to the wrong track, she'll crash into a wall.
Yeah. You pretty much have to play around actually managing that resource in the first place, because you want to actually get hit sometimes.
A lot. You want to get hit a lot, actually.
Mostly when you're at 6 stacks, or 5 stacks of crests.
Yeah. There is a way around it that a character like Halloween Eustace pre-rework could not get her did not have. Ipatsu does have this workaround, and that's casting death and having her die and come back. Then she will be able to act again, but she will also be.
She'll have to build the crest back.
She will also be at 0 crests and will not have her skills back. But
put her in 4 slot. You need just because having a dead slot is not fun.
It really isn't. However, unlike Halloween Eustace, this character is 100% worth that slot until she dies. And there are characters, like I said, that do really well to keep her from her downside from activating, because like her downside activating requires something like 8 straight turns of getting hit, assuming you're on full auto, because you'll cast this on skill 1 when she's already at 0, and on turn 6 you'll cast it again.
Okay, so you're at 3. No,
is it turn 5 that she casts it again, or
if she's hit
so she's hit
6. Yes. So you'll be at 2 because on turn 6 you have been hit only 5 times.
Right.
So you hit 2, and then you just don't hope you get hit.
Yeah. So it requires something like 9 straight turns of getting hit for this thing to actually do it, and that's on full auto. If you just plain don't press the button until she has like 1 or 2, then this character really, really has a hard time dying.
Yeah, it's a balance thing that you need to work with.
Yeah, and until then, she's gonna just throw Piagerella out billions of times and do gajillions of damage.
Yeah, it's really good on everything. Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it yourself. It's the Valentine's Aglavale button, and that's a real damn good button. And she gets to cast it even more often than he does, assuming she takes damage. That's a little asterisk right there.
Yeah. So yeah, really good. You could her MPs. One is hostility up, the other is hostility down. Pick your poison.
Thanks, Yggdrasil.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this character 100% justifies her fragility. She is not as self-removing as Predator is, but she is applicable in multi-target fights because of Piagerella here. And so...
She's applicable even without that, too.
Yeah. But basically, yeah, Predator. She's like, welcome to the next drag racer.
Man, Dark has a lot of drag racers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. We managed to get through an entire Dark character without guaranteed triple attack or chaser. We did it.
Oh, we can design new characters. It's just Aglavale in a dress.
Aglavale, that's not... Is it a dress? It's more of like a skirt and like demonious boots and...
It's very dress-like.
I guess. It's a big poofy skirt. I don't count anything Arun as being a dress. It's like a bustier with a skirt attached to it. Anyway. Alright. Silly thing. Welcome to the fact that GBF officially has a boba weapon.
Yeah.
It's an awful boba weapon? This thing is bad.
See, this would be good. It wasn't fire.
Trium and then attack and double attack. Oh,
that'd be
baby.
good in fire.
Oh, baby.
What, Dark needs more weapons?
No, it's just funny.
Okay, we're done with that.
It's just funny, like I said.
This delightful Dulce is popular in it with those young and fashion one always seeking new trends.
Oh, Harajuku, got it.
Yeah, this refreshing beverage is a blend of milk and 3 different kinds of berry, complete with soft, chewy tapioca and topped with whipped cream. One sip is all it'll take for you to fall in love with this exceptional dessert drink.
Boba.
It's boba.
We got it. We've caught up with 2020 fashion trends, everybody. She says she doesn't say PN, but I'm sure she would if she could.
PN.
All right. With that, that's it for this week. Next week,
it's tied to that dagger, the Velgata.
The Vigalta, yeah. So anyway, next week we will be talking about Uesis. We will have the new characters from
Gotcha.
The not Flash Gala, the Premium Gala. And yeah,
we haven't even talked about the real event yet.
We'll be talking about 5-star Uesis. and the inevitable things that change, and maybe even got reworked a second time in 2 months.
No, there's one more thing on the agenda.
We don't need to.
I like Fest.
I like Fest too, but I mean, we can just say, oh yeah, they announced the date of the summer stream. It is exactly when I expected it would be.
Beginning of August.
The beginning of August. It's in Osaka. I will be in Vegas, unless some sort of miracle happens. Like, the miracle involves me getting, like, loaded into a freaking low Earth orbit shuttle and shot to Japan on a freaking rocket.
No, because then they'll detect you if that happens.
Yes. Yes, they will. Like I said, it would take some sort of freaking miracle. With that, see you guys next time. We'll talk about Fest a little bit more then, but also we'll have all of those things.
Alright.
In between, DJ, enjoy Fanime. Stay safe, bud.
Yeah, I will. Try my best.
Your move. Your move.
Anyways.
Your move. Alright.